the mindset. Ay, back with a vengeance, back on the grinds, back to the business. Ay, God is my witness, they watching my moves like shows they binging. Ay, best keep distance, all of my haters send best of wishes. I get to the bag with the quickness, no I don't need no assistance, no. Yeah, no playing it safe, I said let's get it, you say not today. What can I say, if you ain't gon' go for it, get out the way. Yeah, got no time to waste, can't be with me if you not at my pace. You not at my level, you not in my race. One foot on the gas, I'm pushing the brakes. Dancing with the devil, there's no recital. I'm killing competition, ain't no revival. I shoot it to kill it, I'm aiming for vitals. I'm showing no mercy when facing my rivals. Snakes in the grass, they getting exposed. I know they be lurking, I'm watching them close. Acting like friends, but really they foes. Saw they be scheming and said adios. Yeah, I gotta get it. Yeah, by any means. I gotta get it, the mindset. I gotta get it, the mindset. I gotta get it, the mindset. It's the arrival. I came in the league, went straight for the title. No time to idle.
Welcome to the battle under the Tempest sky as the Chapman Panthers will be taking on the Grand Canyon University Antelopes here on Wilson Field. It's going to be a big matchup for the Chapman Panthers and Grand Canyon with two teams that have a lot to prove. We want to welcome you guys into the studio. I'm Alejandro Flores here with Lindsay Johnson. Lindsay, how do you feel about today's game?
I am so excited for today's game, folks. This should prove to be an incredible game between these two teams. Chapman Panthers so far having a record of 9-2 this season and have been absolutely killing it. And GCU with a record of 2-5, doing the same. And so, Alejandro, how are these two teams looking in their conference standings so far?
So as you already mentioned, Chapman standing at 9-2 versus Grand Canyon sitting at 2-5 in their total win-loss record. But the big thing for Grand Canyon is they don't have any conference wins yet this year. On the other hand, Chapman 3-0 in the conference, which is tied with San Diego State, one of the other big dogs in the SLC conference. And San Diego State just beat Grand Canyon University. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Chapman now plays Grand Canyon almost as a prove-it game to see if Chapman is here to stay or if they're ready to play against a team like San Diego State. So this is big for Chapman. For Grand Canyon, they're looking to steer the ship. Now, if you look at both sides of the team statistics, what has led to where these two teams are at right now?
Yeah, that's a great question, Alejandro. So we're looking at, the Antelopes have played 4 less games so far this season than the Chapman Panthers, yet they have the same number of goals scored against them, which is 91, which is very interesting statistic to look at given the fact they played 4 less games. And for the goals for, even though they're the same number of goals scored against, they have a drastically different number there, with the Antelopes having half the number of goals scored against, with 70, and Chapman Panthers have 132.
So it's going to be very big to see how the Antelopes try to match up defensive-wise with the Panthers. They want to keep games within striking distance. They've allowed a lot of high-scoring games, 17-point games, 15-point games. So it'll be very interesting to see how Grand Canyon can answer. Now, with a little bit more information on this upcoming matchup, we have Lisa Pressler down on the sidelines. Lisa?
Thank you, Alejandro and Lindsay. I'm Lisa Pressler, your sideline reporter for today's game. Now, both Chapman and GCU played yesterday. Chapman versus Arizona State and won 8-7, while GCU played San Diego and lost 7-17. So basically, let's see how both these teams are going to play. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, Lisa. Be sure to stay dry out there. It's a very rainy day today. So she did mention a big thing. GCU just lost against San Diego State, a big-time loss, 17-7. So what are some key factors for GCU to try to turn this ship around?
Yeah, I feel like it's really going to rely on the defense of the team. But, you know, I feel like there have been so many different players that have stood out so far in this game. And, you know, it's really been certain players on this offense that have been really demonstrating it, like Kyle Capshaw, which was going to be one of our key players today, but he unfortunately has faced a new injury. Number 2, attacker, he's been incredible so far this season, and this is going to really demonstrate to be a big loss for GCU today because of how great he has been. With his 13 goals, 12 assists, and 4.1 points per game, this is going to be a hard game for GCU. But, you know, looking on the bright side, we have number 0, goalie. We have Jake Hives, who has been an awesome goalie with an over 50%, looking at 56% saving percentage, and he has 94 saves and 15.6 saves per game. It is really going to rely on the strength of the defense for GCU today. And, you know, Alejandro, this has been incredible gameplay that GCU is going to need to have for their defense. But, you know, what are Chapman's key players, and what are they looking at so far in this game?
Well, exactly. A big reliance because of the fact that you have guys like Grant Kevin on the Chapman side. Grant Kevin coming off of his 4-goal game just yesterday against Arizona State. 18 ground balls picked up on the year, 29 points, and 1.8 ground balls per game. Now, if you want to go to the defensive side, someone that we can mention every single week if we wanted to, Jason Bollinger, coming off of his all-conference nomination just last year. He's been a big factor for Chapman. 62% save percentage, 13.4 saves per game, and a 134 saves total on the year. So it's big. Jason Bollinger is a huge factor. He's kept Chapman within striking distance in many games, especially that game yesterday against Arizona State, which was a close matchup. Back and forth, it kept going. But in the end, Chapman got the win because in the end, they were only down 1 throughout the majority of the game. Bollinger kept them within it, and then that allowed Grant Kevin to get the last goal that gave the Panthers the lead in that game. So Bollinger, he's a big factor, right? Panthers defense keeps him within the games. And the Panthers, they did lose a close defensive matchup as well to Utah Valley, and then they lost a big one to Virginia Tech where they kind of got caught off guard. So how do the Panthers rally back after losing 2 ranked games, which put them now at 4 in the nation?
Exactly. So I feel like the Panthers bring that same fire and same energy to each game that they play in. You know, they always have that power, just demonstrating that they want to get those points up on the board so fast. They're really a first quarter kind of team, you know. They put those points up as fast as they can, trying to show the other team that they're not ready to mess around. And, you know, coming off of a game like yesterday's where it was about 7 or 8 lead changes throughout the game against Arizona State for the Panthers, you know, it's going to be interesting to see, even though they were able to squeak out that win, which was amazing for the team, it's, you know, going to be a challenge for them, especially with the rain in today's game, to be able to prove themselves and to not have, you know, that very close win like they did yesterday.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the Chapman Panthers got into a very intense game versus Arizona State, back and forth it went, lead change after lead change, where the Panthers ended up winning by 1 score. So here are some highlights from that game yesterday. And as we keep going, as we go over to the highlights, you can see it was a very physical matchup. That was one of the biggest things about this game. Players going down, a lot of tripping, a lot of pushing and shoving, going both ways. It got very chippy at times too. Both teams starting to get into fights and arguments and starting to go at it with each other. That was a big thing. Chapman just came off of a physical game just yesterday, just a little over 24 hours ago. Physical, grueling matchup, and now they have to follow up with Grand Canyon, as you mentioned, in a rain game. So how does the rain play a factor now for Grand Canyon?
Exactly. I feel like it's going to be really interesting to see how both of these teams are going to be bringing their best to this game, since both of them had a very tough matchup less than 24 hours before. Chapman with ASU barely squeaking out the win, and GCU suffering a hard loss against San Diego State, both almost 24 hours ago. It was insane. And so, you know, they might be a little bit tired, but hopefully they can bring that energy today in the rain, which is going to be needed. And so, you know, hopefully it won't be a mud bowl, but, you know, the Panthers have been relying on their home field advantage throughout this season so far. They've only had 1 loss so far at home, and you know, they've been relying on the sunny Southern California weather to keep them through the season, but with this rain, GCU, it's almost a little bit of a leg up that they have now, and the playing field is almost leveled. So this will be a very interesting game to see in the rain.
Yeah, as you mentioned, again, the rain playing a huge factor. Ball's a little bit more slippery. It's harder to grip it. The ground balls are going to play a huge factor, you know, rolling around in the rain. It's not like lacrosse balls are built for weather, you know. In the end, it's built for the sunny skies and the cool and the great weather of SoCal. So the Chapman Panthers, who are usually used to, easy grip on the field and everything on the turf field, all of a sudden it's going to be a little bit more slipping and sliding. You're going to have the offensive guys who might not be able to break away like they're used to doing. And that plays a big factor, and it helps in a defensive matchup. That's exactly what Grand Canyon needs, because you have a team that has allowed so many goals throughout the entire season. As I mentioned, they allowed 17 points in the game against San Diego in just one quarter. All 17 points came in that one quarter versus San Diego State. So it's going to be so huge for the factor that now all of a sudden it's a defensive matchup, a little bit rainier. It's going to be tougher for Chapman to score. All of a sudden, GCU stays within striking distance. Then it allows their offense to get in the rhythm, to stay close in a game, not lose momentum. And as they stick close into a game, who knows what happens? Because at that point, then GCU just feels a little bit more confident in themselves. And this is a big time for GCU. They want to turn this ship around. They want to get their first conference win, try to make a shoot into the gap for the playoff spot. And this is huge for them.
Exactly. And like we were talking about, it's really going to have to rely on the defense for GCU. With that devastating loss of Kyle Capshaw getting injured, who has been, one of their most strongest offensive players, it's going to be a struggle for GCU today. And so it's going to rely on the power of people like goalie Jake Hives, who are going to have to continue that amazing saves that he just does throughout all of his games and continue to bring that, power and just sheer force that he has been so far throughout the season. So, yeah, it's really going to rely on the defense and to not be able to allow that, because like San Diego State yesterday, that's been Chapman's forte, has been getting all those points in really fast at the beginning of the game. And so it's really 100% going to rely on the defense to have to stop that in this game.
And right now we're seeing a little bit of the sun peeking through the clouds, so who knows if that could be a tell for today's game. Maybe the rain is already come and gone. And at this point, if it starts to become a nice sunny day where the rain starts to dry up a little bit, this can start to get very interesting for the Chapman Panthers and GCU as well. And before we get into this game, we have a package that we want you guys to check out, made by our own CSBN.
As we start with every play of the game, we're going to go with the national anthem.
Big physicality happening in this matchup, both ways. And it was very huge how Arizona State, they kept it close. A lot of big goals against Bollinger, which is very rare to see. But it was the big performance from the Chapman Panthers offense late in the game that really helped them come back in this matchup. And now as we transition down to the field, we see that the national anthem is currently playing.
Whose broad stride and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly stood. And rockets regular of our blood, still carried through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, sailors that star-spangled banner yet wave. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the
And you can hear the energy right now going on in the crowd. What a great national anthem. Both teams anticipated and ready for this battle. A big thing that we mentioned for the Chapman Panthers, again, they had two big losses against Utah Valley and Virginia Tech. And the Chapman Panthers, though, one thing that they have over Grand Canyon, they're built for the close games. They've had a lot of close wins against teams. Against Cal Poly, they had a 6-5 win. Against the team yesterday against Arizona State, they had an 8-7 win. To start the season, they had an 11-10 win over Cal Berkeley. So Chapman is very ready and prepared for some of these moments of close games A big thing that we also want to mention for this Chapman Panthers team is this is a D3 school, D3 athletics team, but in the end, this is also a club team. So unlike the other D3 athletics teams that we have here, as a club team, it means the players have to pay to play. So the players go out of their own pocket for equipment, for all the food, for the travel expenses. So this is a big thing for the players. They dedicated to this game. So any donations do help. They go, again, to travel, to food, to equipment. This is a team that's looking to make a lot of traveling as they start to go into the playoff times, hoping for a national championship. So again, any donations for this team do help. Now going back to the game as well, as we mentioned, Chapman Panthers, right? They have been facing close games. Grand Canyon, on the other hand, they've either been blown out or they blow out teams. So how does that really play a factor into this game?
Exactly. I feel like, like in yesterday's game for Chapman Panthers, it was very much, very up in the air as to where it was going to go. But in this game today, I feel like it'll be, like you said, Alejandro, either one or the other. It's either going to be Panthers are just totally dominating or GCU will blow them out of the water. So we will see which way this game goes.
Now, speaking of GCU first, we have for the starters, they all start to line up on the field. For the first one, we have Grant Warren, the senior from Phoenix, Cruz Clay as well, and Liam Reed to round out the attackers for GCU. Going to the offensive mid spots, we have Cameron Seymour, Vaughn Kawin, and then Nick Mipps. That's rounding out the offensive mid spot right there. And then you got the defensive midfielders in Phoenix Rhodes, DJ Votsberg, and Ryder Jacobson, a freshman right there to round out the defensive mid spot. Going to defense, Dominic Scarota, Matthew Miller, Tyler Carter, and as mentioned before, Jake Hives, and right now you see him lined up as a faceoff specialist, Matt Hardigan for GCU.
Exactly. Those have been some incredible players from GCU. And for Chapman starting lineup and our attackers, we have Luke Morissette, number 42, Adam McDonald, and Grant Cavan, one of our amazing key players.
As you already see, those are the attackers who are kind of leading the front end and already getting some action for the Chapman Panthers as Michael Morrison, one of the starting face-off specialists, wins the face-off of the Panthers. That's a big thing as well. The Panthers, they win a lot of face-offs. In the end, it's a big thing about lacrosse is possessions can start to stack on each other. If you get a goal, win the face-off, get a goal, win the face-off. And the Panthers already off to a good start as you have a couple sub-ins for the offensive side for Chapman.
Exactly, and the Panthers are already starting off with having their ball control and kind of already being able to call the shots of the game, as we can see right now.
Working with the ball right now off of the right side, Josh Volmund passes back to him. He passed originally to Luke Morstead. Volmund looking to see if he can find any lanes. He gets it to Jack Worth, back to Volmund. Volmund over to Grant Cavan, one of our key players that we mentioned in this game. Luke Morstead working off of the back end. Passes that over to the right. And moving through the inside and around. Dante DeColbus is there to round out the offense as well. Another name worth mentioning. Had a 4-goal game. Here's a shot on goal, and there it is already for the Panthers. One score on the board.
That was incredible. Panthers already showing their sheer strength so far, and like we've noticed in games previous, they make sure that they're getting those goals in right at the beginning to show their power to the opposing team, and they have done it yet again.
What a shot on goal it was for the Panthers. Dante DeColbus, a name that we already previously mentioned, with a big-time goal to start off the game. Panthers with a 1-0 lead. And again, we talked about quick starts. Here it is, a goal, and almost winning the face-off were the Panthers. They went around, and now Grand Canyon has possession finally. So Grand Canyon has time to set up, and as we already mentioned, the big thing for Grand Canyon is despite their defensive struggles, they do have shown great signs of offensive success. As it was Cameron Seymour who was able to bring it down. Now it goes to Vaughn. Vaughn working with it, going up top to Reed. Reed with a lot of pressure in his face right now, and he loses it. Ground ball on the ground, picked up, and a great defensive play that was for the Chapman Panthers. On the defensive end, Morris Camden.
That was incredible. That was number 9, Camden Morris, who is an incredible defensive player right there for the Chapman Panthers. Wow, Camden Morris, hailing from Rancho Santa Fe, California. He's a great player and just a great person.
And a great defensive play now leads to offense for the Chapman Panthers. It goes to Holden Walker, resetting at the top, and a lot of sub-ins now coming in for the Chapman Panthers as they change their lineup. Elijah Brugman moving in for the offensive side. And it goes to Morissette over on the back. DeColbus. And they reset at the top to Brugman. Brugman looking to take a shot, tosses instead to Morset. Morset trying to dance around the goal, gets a little bit of pressure in his face, now has to toss it away to Kevin. Kevin tossing it now around, a merry-go-round to Kolobis. Another shot on goal, that one is out of control and high, and the Panthers will reset.
Even though that was a high shot, we see that, you know, these Panthers are still not wanting to mess around. They're showing their force, and, you know, they're the ones who are kind of in control of the clock right now. It's all going down at GCU's little end goal area, and they're the ones who are calling the shots of this game.
Now Grant Kevin passing it around again, as you mentioned, taking time off the clock, run down the full shot clock. Shot on goal is saved, and a good stop it was for GCU. They're able to reset with Jake Hives. But again, 80-second shot clock. The Panthers do a very good job of running that shot clock down almost entirely. It's going to play a huge factor. The Panthers can win the time of possession in this game.
Exactly, and that was a great defensive move by Jake Hives. And yeah, it's really going to be about, you know, up to him right now for how their defense is going to be playing in this game. And, you know, we're seeing a strong start already from Jake.
Very uncharacteristic as we see Phoenix Rhodes now as he starts to sub out for GCU. Heading over to the other side, he's a defensive midfielder. Grant Warren passing that over to the right side. Cameron Seymour, who has 11 points on the year, and a lot of drops so far for GCU. They can't afford another turnover, especially if it's another great defensive play from Morris Camden. That one is down again, and Camden already having a great defensive start to the game. Gets it over to Nico Orsino, and the Panthers moving in transition.
That was incredible. We're seeing the Chapman's, you know, we were talking about how the strength of GCU's defense is going to be playing in this game, but we're already seeing Chapman's defense is killing it. Players like Camden Morris are just making their mark on this game.
As it has Grant Kevin with it right now. He had 32 goals last year. Already on pace to beat that. As he's having himself a great season, the senior attacker for the Chapman Panthers goes to Morset. Back over the top to Vomond. And the Panthers taking a lot of their time already now. 30 seconds left in the shot clock. Moving inside. Great move inside. Keeps possession. Morset working off at the back end. Two inside. And almost a shot on goal. That was from Kevin. A little out of control. Morset resets with 20 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, I don't know if it's been, you know, some remaining sprinkles so far left in this orange city sky here, but yeah, I don't know. It's the ball control's been a bit of an issue so far in this game with, yeah, a couple dropped, even just dropped sticks. It's been a challenge.
And here comes GCU now. Again, they've turned it over twice. They haven't even had a shot on goal yet. Looking for their first now. Starts again from Grant Warren, 16 points on the year, 2.6 points per game for the GCU attacker. Really needs to get going as we have a couple sub-ins and transition changes. Move inside for GCU, and another loose ball and another pickup. Morris Camden again. As you can hear the fans ecstatic right now for this game. Big job for the Chapman Panthers.
This is incredible. Like we've already been saying Camden's name so many times in this game, and look at him go. It's, you know, only a little less than 9 minutes so far left in this first quarter, and Camden's already made several important defensive plays.
Now it's in the possession of Morset working from behind the X. Morset looking to make a pass, and there is an open shot opportunity. It was for a split second to Brugman. Closes quick. Morset behind the goal. Still looking to pass, and he will. Gets it to DeColobis. DeColobis setting it up to the top, and now working from the top. Ben Neustron. DeColobis already with one goal in this game. A loose stick now on the ground again. Big mishaps been happening for GCU. That's a shot on goal, and that is too low for Neustron. But Kevin close by.
20 on the shot.
So the Panthers will reset.
Wow, I've not seen as many dropped sticks as I'm seeing in this game so far. This is very interesting. I haven't really seen this before. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if it's remaining sprinkles in the air or what's going on, but yeah, I don't know. Bit of a challenging game here for both teams.
We did mention that the rain would play a factor. Dante DeColobis passing behind. Move inside. Shot from way down to Morset, and he accidentally hits Kevin off of the back of the goal. Shot out of control. And another stop for GCU, again, just staying within one. preventing the Panthers from scoring very early.
Oh my gosh, you don't want to injure any of our incredible key players here, but yeah, a bit of a little mishap down there.
A lot of hits right now for GCU. Again, they're still looking for their first shot on goal. Lawrence Camden has been a factor right now for the Chapman Panthers. A lot of stoppages, forced turnovers, ground balls picked up for the Panthers. Now a couple sub-ins coming in for the Antelopes. Wild pass inside, ground ball, and what a pickup it is! GCU on the board. What a shot off of the quick ground ball pickup by Liam Reed. And
That
it's a tie
was
game.
incredible. That was incredible. They were able to sneak it in right there. And, you know, yeah, the defensive players of Chapman have been doing great so far this game, but they were able to find their hole in the defensive front and, yeah, just make it right in the goal. Found their hole and made that connection.
Only a matter of time. Liam Reed, the junior from Glendale, Arizona, so a local kid for GCU. He has 17 points on the year, now 18 with a listed 3.4 points per game. There's a hookup now with the sticks. So they have to check. As they have to take the sticks off of the field again to make sure that they can try to separate them. It goes to GCU's possession, so they win the face-off. It's a big gain for them.
The amount of stick issues in this game is very interesting so far. Yeah, I know like in one of the past women's lacrosse ones, we've seen how a ball was just caught in a stick. But, you know, this has been interesting. Sticks being intertwined. I don't know.
Nick Mipps now with it, and that's going to be a loss of possession for GCU. Another turnover for the Antelopes. Bollinger's going to reset it up at the top, and here come the Panthers moving in transition.
I have to say, this is an interesting way for the game to start. We really thought that one team was going to show just, you know, complete domination over the other, but it's exciting to see that, yeah, so far they seem to be relatively evenly matched with their 1-to-1 score right now.
An even matchup with Jack Worth having it at the top in a 1-1 game. Gets it over to Holden Walker. DeColibus, Morset. Panthers passing it around. Again, they like to take that shot clock all the way down. They're doing so again. Good passing around. Cavan, Morset, look to show a shot attempt, decides to hold it. DeColibus with the 1 goal so far for the Panthers. An out of control pass is able to be picked up by Walker. Walker, Morset, DeColibus. Cavan with 22 left. The Panthers really taking their time. Morset looking inside. Sooner or later, the Panthers are going to have to take a shot. Jack Worth. Shot rolls around. Almost a great pickup, but it's another save for GCU, and it stays a 1-1 game.
It's a very interesting strategy the Panthers use to really wind down that shot clock and use every second they can to just establish their foundation between each other and like the goal area and make sure that they can, you know, find that opportunity to make that connection. You know, while they've had a couple missed shots here, it's, I feel like, a beautiful thing to see how they really take their time and make sure they have that foundation.
Not taking their time is GCU. What a pass it was from Cameron Seymour off of the inside against the Caleb Brogdon. And that, just like that, GCU on top.
This is not the beginning of the game that we expected going into it, but it's exciting to see for sure. Yeah, 2-1, GCU on top right now.
What a pass that was. Another assist for Cameron Seymour, who has 11 points total on the year, now 12 with that latest assist. And he just put it right in the breadbasket for Caleb Brogdon.
GCU must be feeling good right now after coming off of that, almost 17-point shutout in the first quarter of their game yesterday. So, spirits must be high down on the field right now, already having a little bit of a lead.
GCU with a lot to prove, a very physical matchup early so far. And GCU wins another face-off off of those penalties. And this is big. GCU already with a 2-1 lead. And now having possession again. Cameron Seymour setting up from the top. As we mentioned for Cameron Seymour, great offensive facilitator for GCU. This time he tries to take it himself. That's going to bounce straight off of the post. and go out of bounds. It stays GCU's possession as the closest man to it was Grant Warren.
That was a crazy ball in the air. Oh my gosh.
Moving through, GCU looking to take a 2-score lead with Nick Mipps, who passed that one off. Von Quick with it. Quick setting up behind the X. Going up against Nico Ursino. Pass over to the right to Nick Mipps. Mipps shot on goal, saved by Bollinger. The Panthers moved very quickly in transition. There he is with a lot of room. Rikers Leander. Leander taking it himself, and he can't get it. Shot is saved. Another one on the day. Have himself an early start. Jake Hives, another save.
Wow, Jake has been doing great. You know, really proving the name of GCU's defense right now. And yeah, it's like even with their, Kyle Capshaw unfortunately not being able to play in this game, their offense has still been proving to be great in this game so far. And paired with Jake Hives in the defense, they seem to be a pretty well-rounded team that's, making a name for themselves.
Here comes Morris Camden, the defender for the Panthers, taking a rare shot attempt. He has no goals listed on the year. Again, from the defensive spot, we've been calling his name a lot on defense. Tries to take a shot there. To no avail. GCU with possession and a 2-1 lead. GCU passing up and resetting to the top. Whistle blows. And a timeout for GCU. A very early timeout in this game. But GCU is standing right now with 2:48 on the clock. A 2-1 lead. And for the Chapman Panthers, as we mentioned before, great in early starts. They've always gotten off to early leads in the first quarter. Right now, they're sitting at a 2-1 score. And this is very similar to how it was with Arizona State, where it was a very low-scoring first quarter as well.
Exactly. I think this has been some abnormal gameplay for Chapman's typical strategy so far for the season. Yesterday and today we've been seeing definitely a bit of a slower burn, but hopefully this game can end up like it did yesterday with it makes it exciting. Not a total blowout, makes it exciting. We never really know who's going to be in the lead, but an evenly matched game is one of the best kinds of game you can have, and that's what we're seeing so far. I don't know what the different factors that could be playing into it, but yeah, GCU's offense has continued to show up and thrive in this game, and paired with Jake Hives on the defense, it seemed to be a well-rounded team, next to Chapman, and how they're able to really wind down the clock and use their offensive time as much as they possibly can, and how, their defense has been just unstoppable in this game so far, like players like Cam Morris just doing great in this game. So I feel like they've been both pretty well-rounded and both matched very evenly.
If you recall from the game yesterday, Arizona State went into the end of the first quarter leading 2-1. Right now it's a very similar score with GCU leading 2-1. And again with 2:54 left on the clock. And possession as well. GCU in prime position, trying to take a 2-possession lead to end the first quarter. For the Panthers so far though, their defense, you have to give a lot of credit to some of the guys like Morris Camden, who's been forcing a lot of turnovers. And again, as you mentioned, it seems that slippery rain is still playing a factor, even though the rain has died off in this game. A lot of slipping and sliding, and unable to grasp possession of the ball.
Yeah, the stick issues have been very fascinating to watch, and I hope that both teams don't really struggle with those issues anymore.
For GCU moving around, trying to see if they can find anything.
Nice, go, boys!
Inside, a loose ball.
Way to go, Troy!
Picked up by the Panthers, Troy Kennedy. And he tosses it over all the way to the right side to Morris Camden. Again, we've called his name a lot. He already took a shot attempt. He was looking for his first goal of the year. Goes to Nico Ursino, the sophomore for the Chapman Panthers, resetting at the top, and he will be subbed out. Moving over and rotating.
It seems that Chapman is great teamwork. Within the different positions of the field, you can see that they really have great connections and are able to work with one another to make that ball go downfield as, fast and just seamlessly as possible. And here we go. We have a loose ball right here.
Looked like a trick shot attempt.
Interesting. Got to keep it interesting. Don't want to have just basic shots every time. Yeah, got to shake it up.
Pass over for the Panthers. Resetting. Oh, good pass and a shot by Dante DeColibis. His second of the game off of the assist, and the Panthers have tied it up at 2 apiece.
This is incredible. Dante already making a name for himself in this game. And yeah, that was just a great shot. I love how I feel like the Panthers' shots so far in this game, the ones that have made it into the goal, have been just, creeping right around the post and making it in ever so slightly. It's those trick shots of what's been working for them so far.
If you recall, Dante DeColibis had a 4-goal game against Florida. He had 31 goals last season, which got him 2023 Freshman of the Year honors. Another ground ball won by GCU. And GCU is winning a lot of the face-offs so far, so they're winning that first opening possession. The more shot attempts you get, the higher you increase your chances of a score. GCU resets to the top. And a lot of pressure on Quick. Now moves over to Graham Warren. Resetting over the top to Seymour. Seymour looking for a shot, decides to pass it, and a wild pass it is. That goes out, and that's going to be Panthers possession. Off of the wild pass, it goes to Troy Kennedy.
Let's go, Cam.
Who resets it over.
I feel like Troy and Cam have been like our dynamic duo of the Chapman defense. The two of them have just been able to, get those balls, right when just peril's about to happen for their defensive end. But yeah, they've been making those great saves and just, doing great in the defense.
Camden Morris again, another.
I got the chance to talk to Cam during, one of our, when we were interviewing for a halftime show, and he's just a really funny guy. Great member of the fraternity Phi Gamma Delta. Great man. He was just, making us all laugh in the interview.
Camden. Oh, inside, more set. Camden so far has had himself a great game. 2 shot attempts and 2 stops on defense. It resets for the Panthers. Over on the top, more set. He usually stays behind the X, this time working from on top, and Morissette, a shot attempt, and that is saved. Another save for GCU, and a wild toss. So that's going to end the first quarter as GCU is tied at 2 apiece with Chapman. Not really the start to the game that we were expecting for the Red Hot Chapman Panthers, who start very early in first quarters with leads. It's going to go with a tie 2-2 match so far.
Exactly. It's been a very interesting start to the game so far. Not exactly what we expected. We definitely expected, one team to really make their stand against the other early on, especially with how Chapman's been, in their last couple games, just making really big starts so far, like early on in the first quarter. But it's definitely proving to be an interesting game, already tied 2-2.
And big names that we already have to mention. Morris Camden for the Chapman Panthers. Camden doing a great job so far on the defensive end. Then you also have to talk about for the Chapman Panthers, Dante DeColibis. A lot of goals so far early in this matchup versus Grand Canyon. He's done a fantastic job on that defensive end. Now, we want to also transition over down to the sidelines. We'll have Lisa Pressler a little bit later. She'll be able to give us an analysis more on this game and what she's seeing on the sidelines. Lisa?
Kyle Capshaw from Grand Canyon, who is one of our key players, and he said he is out of this game due to an injury that happened last weekend against Arizona. As for down on the field, it was raining a lot before the game, but as you can see, it is clearing up now. And we are getting energy from both Chapman and GCU fans in the stadium. Sending it back to you guys up in the booth.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And again, as we mentioned, the rain starting to die off a little bit. It's going to start evening up the playing field as that water starts to dry. But in the end, it still played a bit of a factor. A lot of slipping and a lot of loss of possessions, really with no defense touching the ball at all or touching the stick. Then you also saw earlier a stick tie-up that happened between GCU and Chapman. So it's been a very wonky game, you could say, to start off so far.
Exactly. I would agree with you. And, as we heard some of the other announcers going on for the stadium itself, they made a joke saying, unfortunately, Southern California put the sun away for a couple days here. And, that's what it's really been, just, changing it up. And not typically what you see in Southern California in this type of year, but definitely adding a new challenge to our men's lacrosse games.
So here it is, a matchup again versus Matt Hardigan. And a win for Michael. Morrison, another face-off win. Morrison, a face-off specialist, a senior from Newport Beach. Went to Newport Harbor High. And the Panthers, they've been needing to win these face-offs, win more possessions, and it's a great start so far early in this one. It goes to Elijah Brugman. And the Panthers start to reset at the top. Another shot attempt. Morrison decides to hold it out of control, spinning around. And closest around is Grant Cavan. As we mentioned before, Grant Cavan, 4 goals in yesterday's game. Right now, Dante DeColabis on that pace with 2. Might be looking for his 3rd. DeColabis moving inside, gets it to Morissette. Cavan resetting over at the top. The Panthers trying to move it around again, running that shot clock down. Shot attempt, wild. And the Panthers win possession again.
It's been very interesting to see how I feel like it's been more of the Panthers' trick shot attempts have been the ones that are actually making it, making those connections. It's been the ones where it's, creeping right over the goalpost and not a straight shot into it. It's been more of their trick shots that have been what's making good for their team so far. And there we go. Another point for the Chapman Panthers. Oh my gosh, right there. And as you can see, that was not exactly a trick shot. There we go. Just prove my statement there. They're making a name for themselves in other ways now. And so, we see in our replay here, it was number 42, number 44. That was incredible.
Well, it was a great pass from 44, actually. That was Grant Cavan who finished it out.
That was incredible.
Again, simplicity works sometimes for the Panthers, and it gives them a 3-2 lead. So now already, Dante DeColabis, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points total in this game. And that's going to be a false start call off of the faceoff. Another one for the Panthers. That's another faceoff that they've lost due to a false start. So Morrison, not off to a great start on the faceoffs. He's had an 81-71 faceoff record going into this game. He's been struggling a little bit so far. GCU winning most of the faceoff battles.
It's interesting, at the beginning of the game we noticed that Chapman typically tends to win most of their face-off battles in previous games, but it's interesting in this game, GCU has been shaking it up for them, definitely.
Colton Muniz losing it without any touch. Again, as we mentioned, a lot of mistakes. Charles Beasley was there on the defensive end to close out. This is going to be an open lane and a shot on goal. That one is going to go high for GCU. Closest to it is GCU, so they'll keep possession. Shot attempt was by Grant Warren. Grant was looking for his 17th point of the year. Starts with Colton Muniz. Back behind the goal. Liam Reed setting a screen. Reed takes a hit down.
Cam Morris is not afraid to use his stick to be defensive. I've noticed that. He really just, he's able to use his, brunt force and just make sure that GCU is nowhere close to scoring.
Sets up at the top for GCU. Again, a lot of time running off of that shot clock for GCU. It's Liam Reed. It's down on the floor, and another pickup for Camden Morris. We've heard his name a lot as well. He passes it way down the field in a wide open lane. Pass inside. What a save on the inside. Picked up again, ground ball, and another save it is. So far, having himself a great day, Jake Hives.
Jake Hives has truly had a great day today. And compared to yesterday's game where there were 17 goals allowed in the first quarter, he has been demonstrating himself as a strong defensive front in this game. And he's just been proving himself.
Resets to Seymour at the top. And Mips subs in immediately with speed, working inside. What a pass. That one's going to be out of control, though, and a pickup off of the ground ball for GCU. We're going to have an opportunity to reset the offense. It was Caleb Brogger who was able to pick it up.
GCU has been good at recovering the lost balls, I feel like. Whenever anything doesn't go in their favor and their side, I feel like they're able to easily recover it and be able to, take that hard opportunity and make it into the best for them.
Almost a tough pass inside. Instead, it's going to be a lot of trip-ups. No call. And there he is again. Camden Morris. His 5th ground ball picked up and another stop on the defensive end. It goes to Troy Kennedy off of the right side. And way out of the goal is Jason Bollinger. Stepped way out to try to help pass the ball around. He's able to get it off in time. It goes to Steven Jackson. And the Panthers set up at the top. with Jack Worth.
Yeah, Cam, Leander, and Troy. They're their trio of the defense. And Cam and Leander, both from the Rancho Santa Fe area of San Diego County, you know, dynamic duo in their gameplay and from their hometowns.
More set. Working from behind the X. Pass over inside to McDonnell.
Yeah, Adam McDonald, freshman in my major of broadcast journalism. He's, yeah, great guy and a great player.
Adam McDonald from San Clemente, California. DeColabis already with 3 points in the game, the 3 points that the Panthers have early in this game. Resets to McDonald. The Panthers moving it around. Looking for a shot was Vomond. Not there. DeColabis, another shot. That one is off target. Closest to it is the Panthers. 8 seconds on the shot clock for Morset. And this is it. The Panthers, with 8 seconds remaining, have to get a shot off. Morset moves inside, tries to do it himself. Wild shot, no good. Shot clock continues to run down. It hits 0. And that is a delay of game for the Panthers.
And that ball almost crept into the goal there, but yeah, just made it out, and now back in the hands of GCU.
GCU sets up at the top. Goalie moving way out. As you mentioned, Hives having himself a great game so far. Only allowing 3 goals off of a lot of shot attempts that the Panthers have had. GCU rotates around. Looking to see if they can find a lane. And you have a movement here. It allows Cameron Seymour to move to the offensive end. Setting up at the top. A lot of sub-ins that we're seeing right now for GCU. Now moving around at the top. That was Caden. And it resets over to Seymour. Vaughn Quick. Quick with the shot. That is a roller, and that's going to roll out of bounds. GCU with it. 19 seconds left on the shot clock. It goes to Caleb Brogger.
Yeah, and like I said, yeah, when the ball just, yeah, goes out and isn't in their favor, GCU's always, like, pretty much always able to recover it, and they're doing great. Oh, and a hard hit there on the ground.
Vaughn Quick tried to get a sneaky shot attempt off. Could not. Goes to Camden Morris. And Nico Orsino. A rare sighting on the offensive side, and there he goes. He subs out. And the Panthers move to their offensive lineup with Walker Holden. Morset with the shot attempt. That one is stopped by Hives. And that was a wild pass. It's down on the floor. The ground ball. This is huge for the Panthers to have to pick up. Can they get it? Ball bouncing up in the air and around, and it's still down.
That was incredible.
DeColabis couldn't get it. Hives is able to get it. Tossed way down the field out of control, and it goes straight into the possession of the Panthers.
This is an exciting game here, folks.
Resets to Troy Kennedy. Camden Morris, 2 shot attempts already from the defensive spot. He's looking for his first goal all year. He has 14 in his career. Morset to the top to Walker. Moving in is Brugman. And a lot of sub-ins. Reginelli also coming in for the Panthers.
Yeah, maybe it's the rain. I don't know what it is. But it's very interesting to see, you know, when there's a ground ball like that and it just is really up in the air as to whose possession it can be. It's just so fascinating to see where the game goes and, you know, how these players are able to deal with challenging moments like that.
Ball is around, saved by Hives off of Reginelli's shot. He's still on the ground. The call is going to be a tripping off of the push in the back. Resets for the Panthers. They get a full 80 shot clock again. DeColabis had it. Goes back to DeColabis. Going for his 3rd goal. That one's going to go high. Closest to it are the Panthers. And Grant Cavan. Grant Cavan already with a goal, too, for the Panthers in their 3-2 lead. So far, a low-scoring game. Resetting at the top for the Panthers.
Yeah, when the game is low scoring, you know that they're definitely evenly matched in their defenses. Yeah, I feel like, you know, Jake Hives versus Jason Bollinger, it's been an incredible matchup between these 2 defensive fronts.
So far, 2 worth mentioning for GCU. Their great defense swarming to it. Dominic Scarrato, Matthew Miller, and Tyler Carter. They're rounding out GCU's defense. But closing off on the inside, just behind the goal for the Panthers. Another stop for GCU. They keep it within striking distance at 3-2. Highs moving way outside the goal looking for a pass. He gets it to Tyler Carter, who tosses it over the top to Cannon. Barcom in the lineup right now. Not usually someone you see too much for GCU, and Barcom is now subbing out right on cue there. Goes to Luke Hansen.
And we're seeing some substitutions. 11 and 55 leaving the field for GCU.
GCU now putting in their main offensive lineup. It starts with Kai Cook, who has it. Cook trying to put a move on. Can't get around the end. Cook looking out of control. Picked up by Bollinger. Tossed down, trying to get a fast break. Wild pass it is, picked up by GCU. And moving off of the other side, a good pass down the way for Grant Warren. GCU looking to tie. And a timeout for GCU. They'll take advantage of the possession that they have with 72 seconds left on the shot clock. They'll huddle up and try to get a play going.
This has truly been an exciting matchup so far in this game. Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, as Chapman has not been able to put up the points like they normally do in the first quarter, and with a very even matchup, 3-2 right now, it's been a game of the defense, it seems. You know, both of these defenses have been strong and evenly matched up. And so, yeah, it'll be very interesting to see where the rest of the game takes these teams.
Worth mentioning, the Panthers do have more shot attempts in this game, but despite that, only lead by one. DeColobus, you saw, had multiple shots in the one previous possession that the Panthers just had. A lot of shots going high, low, just a little off of the goal. Not too many forcing Hives to actually catch the ball and try to get a stop. It's just more out of control passes. Now, that can be credited a lot to GCU and their positioning on defense, as well as Hives from the goalie spot. But the Panthers right now, unable to capitalize. GCU, what's the mentality now within one? And noticing the Panthers really can't seem to get a score going. How do you feel about this offensive possession? How big is it for GCU?
Exactly. It's very big for GCU in order to figure out how they can, route their defensive goals and, get their strategy together for this game. It's, this game is honestly incredibly important for GCU in this season because facing up against someone as strong as Chapman, they need to be able to figure out how can we create our best strategies in order to, confront teams that are doing as well as Chapman and are ranked as highly as Chapman. And, if things go well for GCU, and I feel like things are already going pretty well for GCU, nothing anything close to the shutout that they saw yesterday in the first quarter. So, yeah, I feel like they're already figuring out their best strategies and their best ways to go about this game. And, all to them, I'd say, yeah, I give them a lot of credit for what they're doing so far.
For GCU, again, a team that's sitting at 2-5 on the year, going up against number 4 ranked in the nation. They have to be happy with where they're at a 3-2 game. And again, with possession. As it resets for GCU. Almost starting with the full shot clock.
I feel like we saw a lot at the beginning of the game, how Chapman was really in control of the ball. Yet, right now it seems that GCU has been more in control of the clock and the ball.
A lot of mishaps. Ball still rolling around. It's a holy roller, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And moving quick in transition. No regard for anyone nearby him. The Panthers move down. Grant Cavan with it. And he resets it over to Jack Worth. Jack Worth resetting to Voman. DeColobus, 2 goals in this game. Voman, Worth. Passing around are the Panthers. Nustron, he'll get it. And he'll pass it around. Shot on goal is too low, and Hives with a great save again. Jake Hives is keeping GCU in this game.
That was truly an incredible save by Jake Hives. Oh my gosh, it looked like, he just buckled down to stop that ball, and he succeeded. Let's look at that replay right now. Look at that. He completely collapsed in order to stop that ball, and that proved to be a great play for him. Jake has had an incredible game so far.
Jake Hives is seeing the ball right now very clearly, as he has a plethora of saves early in this game. Phoenix Rhodes checks out, allows GCU's offensive lineup to sub in, including Caden Hodgson. And now moves to Von Quick. We haven't called his name too often. Von Quick. 4 points total on the year. Quick moving around behind the X. Quick with the move around, trying to get a tough contested pass. Cannot. Hawkinson. Hawkinson, a full wraparound. He has a lane. He loses balance. Another defensive stop. Camden Morris again. Camden having himself a game on the defensive end in a very defensive matchup in a 3-2 match. Panthers moving around. As you get a lot of recognition from the fans. And what appears to be a timeout for the Panthers. This is going to be their first timeout. And the Panthers with the possession. 3-2 lead. Looking to break the ice in this game. They have been shut down for the majority of this second quarter. Both teams have, per se, only 1 goal scored in this quarter.
Exactly. And so, Alejandro, what do you think that GCU is talking about in this huddle right now?
Well, right now for GCU in this moment, in this situation, you're happy with where your defense is standing at, right? You know, in the end, you're still only down 1 score. And Jake Haas is having himself a great game from the goalie spot at the current moment. So if you're GCU, you need to capitalize. You need to capitalize on scoring every possession that you get. So that's exactly what the coaches are having. You see, you have 2 huddles in lacrosse. One's more for the defensive side, one's more for the offensive side. Again, 2 coaches going over different strategies for both sides. So if I'm in the offensive huddle for GCU, it's trying to get good passing around. You can see the rain starting to pick up, so it's going to make it a lot more difficult to get scoring going. The water's starting to fall, and then again, it's going to make it start to slip around. Again, it's going to be very tough for the stick to kind of have a grasp on the ball. So for GCU, what they cannot afford is losing the ball, turnovers, everything like that. It has to be smart passes, trying to get it around. For Chapman, you have to capitalize now. You have a 3-2 lead, but for so long, you can't rely on just a 3-2 lead. At some point, you have to extend that lead. You have to get it up to 4. You have to get it up to 5. You want to try to keep scoring and get GCU's energy and momentum out of this game.
Exactly. Chapman needs to find, a comfortable lead in order to really, go into this game, continue confidently, and be able to show themselves in their best gameplay. I feel like for right now, Chapman, what they need to improve on is how their dynamic has changed. Where at the beginning of the game, they were the ones in control of the clock and control the ball, and now it's almost pivoted to where GCU has been really in control of the clock. And so, we want to get Chapman some more time of possession.
Again, this is why this quarter's been going by so quick. Both sides have been using the shot clock down all the way to the end. Just not a lot of scoring. More set. And there it is again. Dante to Colobis. 3 in the first half. The trifecta for Dante.
That was incredible. Dante already with 3 points in this game so far. He has been an offensive just wizard in this game. Look at him. Look at this replay right here. Oh my gosh, Dante just knocking it in. And I feel like that they're really shaking up how they're making these goals in this game so far. They're scoring in all different ways, not only just the trick shots, but now making it in several different ways. And, Dante has been a leader of that.
Morrison versus Hartig. And pick up for the Panthers. So it's still rolling around. And there it is, a pickup for the Panthers. Also worth mentioning for the Panthers on the offensive side, you have to give a lot of credit to Morissette as a facilitator in this game. He doesn't have any scores yet, but Morissette has been a big factor in really getting those assists to Kolobis, who has 3 goals now. Morissette's been a big factor to doing so, being the big facilitator for the Panthers, now resetting to their offensive lineup.
I agree. Morissette has been a well-rounded player, and even if he didn't get any scores in his own name, he's been great in assisting his own teammates and making sure that they get their success for the overall team.
Morissette pass inside to Worth, and Worth with a high shot, but closest to it are the Panthers, so they'll maintain possession with Grant Cavan. And setting up over the top, here we go. Morissette, we've mentioned his name so many times, a lot of assists in this game. Looking for a lane for his first goal. Reginelli. DeColobis already 3 on the day. He's the hot hand. He goes to Morissette. Morissette looking. Shot attempt. Morissette. And Morissette will do it himself. Finally getting himself a goal. And Luke Morissette. That is now 4 total points for him in this game. 3 off of assists. 1 off of a score.
That was incredible. We were just talking about it, as you heard just pure moments ago, on how Morissette is such a well-rounded player. He has not been fighting his way to get any points in his own name. He has just been helping and assists and, you know, creating good opportunities for the rest of his team, but he finally got that opportunity for himself. And now Morissette has led us with the Panthers to a 5-2 win, and we were just talking about it. Yeah, good for the Panthers to have more of a comfortable lead, and this is what we've seen so far from the season from this team.
It's putting the Panthers on pace for a win right now, but again, they have to put this game away. Pick up by Morrison, and Morrison moving quick, the face-off specialist, but he'll decide to toss it out and sub out. So the Panthers can get their offensive lineup going. Again, the Panthers are okay with running that clock down, really letting it tick off. With a minute 34, they can run it down to almost the end of the half if they take their time. Goes to Walker, and it resets over at the top for the Panthers.
And now I
And
feel like
seeing
we're
Kelly
seeing some
sub in
more
for the Panthers.
confidence. Yeah, now I feel like we're seeing some more confidence from the Panthers, and, you know, they're able to manipulate the clock a bit more after getting those 2 points.
It's great. Cavan, who passed it in. It goes back to Cavan. He already has a goal in this game as well from DeColabis, who assisted to him. DeColabis has been a factor in almost all of the goals for the Panthers so far. 4 of the 5 have been due to Dante. Goes over to Cavan. Back to Dante. Setting up over the top. Morissette. Morissette looking for a shot. Does not take it. Elijah Brugman. And he passes it around. Here's a name you don't hear often. Aiden Kelly. He only has 2 points total on the year. Oh, a loose ball. Ground ball. Picked up by the Panthers. By Elijah. Elijah shot on goal. A little too far to the left. DeColabis looking for a shot. Reset to Morissette. Shot clock is reset to 80 full seconds, and the Panthers can run down the entire half with 14 seconds left. Now moving around, Holden Walker, Cavan, inside, Morissette, loose ball, 5 seconds left. This is it, the Panthers have to take a shot. Pass inside, wild, and it rolls around, and that'll end the half.
That was incredible. And we see, you know, I feel like ever since those 2 scores just now recently from the Panthers, we see that they're able to have more confidence and put up more energy into this game and, you know, be able to really manipulate the clock to their own advantage.
So again, now the Panthers have been really turned this around in this game. You know, the Panthers have got themselves a bit of a lead now, sitting at 5-2. Again, it was very early on in this quarter. It was 3-2 for the majority of the quarter. The Panthers couldn't score. So what changed in the end of that half?
I don't know. Look, yeah, whatever changed, it changed well. And yeah, the Panthers just, I feel like, have a new resurgence, a new energy that they brought into the end of it. Maybe it was just more, I don't know, more teamwork in the area of the goal. I don't know what it was. But yeah, Dante DeColabis has really just been shining through as a star. And Luke Morissette as his, counterpart. The two of them have just been great in their attacking.
Big thing you have to mention, too, for the Panthers, Camden Morris. He's done a fantastic job on the defensive end for the Chapman Panthers. He's the one who's really kept the Panthers in the lead, because there was a big time in that whole entire second quarter where the Panthers couldn't score. So it just stayed a 3-2 lead, but it was a lot of the defensive end from Camden Morris and Troy Kennedy, who were able to make a huge stop for the Chapman Panthers. Now we're going to go back over to Lisa Pressler, who's around on the field for a sideline interview with a parent this time.
Hi guys, I'm here with a couple of parents up from the stadium. So who are you out here supporting today?
I am here supporting the Chaptown Nation, everybody. We have a village here. It takes a lot of folks to put this thing together. I'm the team manager, Jerry Morris. Cam Morris is my son, number 9. But I'm here representing the Chaptown Nation.
Nice, we'd love to hear that. And especially it's raining today, so we appreciate everyone coming out. What do you think about the season so far?
I think it's an incredible season. I think there's a lot of growth, especially in the younger guys. I'm seeing a lot of the freshmen come in, a lot more play time out on the field. A number of the guys, Rocco, Holden with a cannon, Rocco making scores happen. Dante stepping up as a sophomore today. He's having an incredible, he's involved in 4 of the 5 plays today. But season-wise, our record speaks for itself. We're 9-2 right now. We won a lot of games by a very small margin. 2 years ago, we would not have been winning those games. This year, we're winning those games.
Got it. Okay. Well, thank you for talking to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And well, what are the odds? It's so awesome that the parent of Camden Moore is able to have a word, who's who his son right now is having himself a great game on the defensive end. What has led to the Panthers being so good on the defensive side?
Yeah, I feel like it's really just been, they've been holding themselves in their shoes and just showing their aggression in the defense. I feel like, we've seen Cam using his stick, legally, but yeah, of course, just, making that stick and just not allowing any scoring from GCU. It's been incredible. He's just been able to be a strong front in this game, and yeah, he's just been an incredible force in this game.
And a lot of fouls not committed either for the Panthers, so it's been a big job. Now, we want to learn a little bit more about these Chapman players, and what really makes this team so much of a great bond. And, we had a lot of our people here at CSBN be able to interview a lot of the Chapman Panthers at halftime. So here's a package of that.
This is so fun.
Nope, thankfully I have not, that I'm willing to share. I have. In elementary school, there's a lot of things that rhyme with B, so it was Butthead Ben, so that was unfortunate. I used to shave my head, so that's where it stemmed from.
Yes, I have. I broke my elbow, actually, in the 1st grade. I fell off the monkey bars.
I have. I broke my wrist twice in elementary school. I was running down the driveway and I slipped and I fell and and then captured the flag, got laid out, broke my wrist clean.
Nope, I have not.
Really?
No, never.
No, but I'm waiting for the day I am.
I have. Some people think I look like Rocky Balboa sometimes. I used to have like a huge mane of hair, and a lot of people thought I looked like him, so I thought that was pretty funny because his name's Rocky Balboa and my name's Rocco, so.
I have once, walking to class, running late to a midterm, but it was cool. He said good luck.
I haven't, yesterday I actually saw Jerry Price in the AF forum, and I said, hey Jerry Price, and said what's up, so I guess, kind of. I haven't dapped him up now. I have. I actually see him walking like not freakishly, but like a weird amount in the circle. Maybe we're just on the same schedule, but I always stop him. He always has his like AirPods in, and I'm like, I kind of have to wave him down, but he's very nice, and he's done a lot for our team actually, which is cool. So shout out Dean Price.
No, I've never posted shirtless photo.
I've not.
Yes, I have. I posted a photo when I was surfing. Yeah, that's about it, really. I have, but you can't see my front side. I'm more of a, like, walk into the ocean guy. Yeah. So if you follow me, Ben.Neustraten, you can actually see it.
Yes. I had a mohawk at one point, and that was bad.
welcome back to the second half of this game between the Chapman Panthers and GCU. Now, you guys saw the video at the end there where the Chapman Panthers had their interview of Never Have I Ever. There was a couple questions there that will play a factor into our third quarter segment as well. It's going to be very fun to see. Now, what a great half it was for the Chapman Panthers. They led the game 3-2 for the majority of the second quarter, and then erupted at the end of the second quarter 5-2. A huge eruption, and a lot of that was due to the great offensive scoring by Dante DeColabis, who can be mentioned a lot. So we have a halftime package for that, a lot of halftime highlights that we could see throughout the entire first half. What a great job it was in the first quarter and the second quarter for the Chapman Panthers.
Exactly. And so now we have our package here, and we can see, yeah, just been incredible gameplay all around from both teams. Yeah, Chapman really making their way in the last couple minutes of the second quarter.
Yeah, first score came by Dante DeColabis, and then GCU answered back quick. 2 scores already, but this one wasn't there right there, as it was a great job by Jason Bollinger, who was able to make the stop. And it was a very physical game, a lot of mishaps, a lot of mistakes as we're getting started here on the game. And a pickup for, it's going to be the Panthers. Troy Kennedy is able to grab it. Troy Kennedy mixing around, and pick up for the Panthers. They have full possession, and now reset at the top. More set. He's been a huge factor offensively for the Panthers as well. A lot of assists so far in this game.
Exactly, I agree. And yeah, it's been, I feel like that's it's so important as a lacrosse player to be well-rounded like that and be able to, be able to make those scores yourself, but also have, that ability to be a great teammate and be there for others and make those assists.
And it's passing around to Josh Vilmund. Vilmund's able to pass that one to Kevin. Kevin, we've heard his name once. He scored a goal earlier in this game. Let's move it over to DeColabis. 4 on the day for Dante. Another one on the board, right under the legs, a nutmeg for Dante.
This is incredible. Today is the day of Dante. Oh my gosh. This man is just continuously putting things in the, he's just continually making those connections in the end zone. He in the goal. He is doing his job. He is an incredible player in this game today, and I can't wait to see what he does in the rest of this game. 4 points, just already barely starting the third quarter, and yeah, he has been a great attacker for this team today.
Dante so far, again, as we mentioned, 4 goals in this game. This is now his second game where he's had 4 goals. He did it again in the game he came back against Florida. Dante, he had 4 goals in his return back. This time now, answering with another 4 against Grand Canyon. It has the Panthers at a 6-2 lead. GCU with possession, and now this is starting to become a very desperate time for GCU, as there's a penalty on a formation setup for GCU. It's going to make a quick setup. Dante again, 5 on the day!
Oh my gosh. Dante DeColabis is an unstoppable player in this game. He is killing it. Look, oh my gosh. Alejandro, I'm just in disbelief right now. I just don't even know what to say. I'm speechless.
As our friend Nico Schwegler says, count them with your hands. 5 on the day for Dante. He is having himself a day. Not just that, also an assist for Dante DeColabis. So that's 6 of the total points for the Chapman Panthers are thanks to Dante.
Dante DeColabis is not afraid of Grand Canyon University.
And it extends the Panthers' lead. It's a 7-2 lead. And this game is blown wide open. Another ground ball, 1 for the Panthers. And this is where lacrosse can get a little out of hand. You score, you win the ground ball. All of a sudden, it's your possession again. And it goes to more set.
Whatever was discussed in that halftime speech worked.
Whatever happened in that timeout, ever since it was 3-2, the Panthers erupted. Became 5-2. Now all of a sudden to start off, it's 7-2. Starting off, more set. Kevin. Well, that is Elijah Bruckman, my apologies. Moving over though, Holden. More set, has a goal. Has several assists as well. Gets it to Elijah. More set. More set looking. Pass inside. DeColabis! 6 on the day!
Oh my gosh! Dante DeColabis, look at this man. Oh my gosh. This team is just in disbelief as well. look at this replay right here. That incredible ball control, and from very far away from the goal, he is still able to make it in. Look at this man go. I don't even know what to say. He's just, he is the offensive wizard of the Chapman Panthers today.
Morissette and Dante, a dynamic duo today.
Yes, they are. I love that, the rhyming, it works perfectly.
And a pickup for the Panthers. No, it'll go to GCU, still around on the ground, and there it is, GCU's possession.
Wow, it was Leander Rickers coming right at him with the stick there.
And here's the great defense we're seeing from the Chapman Panthers. Again, GCU has just been unable to have a full possession and allow their offense to get onto the field, and here it comes. Nico Ursino doesn't have too many goals on the year, and that one's going to go off to the right. Nico Ursino, one of the main defensive midfielders for the Chapman Panthers. Exactly. They call him Quadzilla for the Chapman Panthers. Nico Ursino, brother of Gio Ursino. Nico is a great player for the Chapman Panthers on the defensive side. Honorable mentions last year, a scholar athlete. Came from Seattle, Washington. He's a Seahawks fan. He's mentioned how at some point in his life he would like to work for the Seahawks.
The Ursino brothers are a Chapman dynamic brotherly duo here.
And speaking of duos, here it goes to Morissette. Might be looking for DeColibus again. This time he'll take it himself, and that's going to go off of the goal and reset at the top to Josh Roman. DeColibus, as previously mentioned, 6 on the day. Morissette decides to slow it down. 69 seconds on the shot clock.
Now I think the Panthers are reutilizing their strategy from the first quarter, and it's working well for them. How they're able to really just wind down that shot clock around the goal line. And yeah, I feel like, doing that around the goal is what's really important for them. It has been working well so far in this game, and I'm happy that they're reutilizing the strategy.
Again, Panthers, it's a 80-second shot clock. That's a long shot clock as that shot attempt is off by Jack Worth. He was looking for his first of the day. Good stop for GCU, and now it's an opportunity for them to finally reset their offense. Jake Hides has struggled a little bit ever since really holding the Panthers in check early in the game, and now this has become a very necessary possession for Grant Warren and the Antelopes. He gets it over on the sub-in for Seymour. Now moving over.
And yeah, I love that, a lot of the players on the Chapman Panthers men's lacrosse team are members of the Phi Gamma Delta fraternity, and I see so many of the fraternity brothers cheering them on in the stands. It's great to see that, that great spirit among the Chapman community.
Moving over, Von Quick. Just a little lob pass to Caleb. Brogger's pass over to Warren. Warren, we haven't called his name often in the scoring department. Hodkinson moves it over quick. Von Quick looking. GCU now running down the shot clock. They're trying to take control of that time of possession in an 8-2 game, although time is not too much on their side right now, down 6 scores. It goes over to Warren. Out of control, and that is a shot clock violation for GCU. Ran down the full 80 seconds, but no score. So now that really hurts them. Again, with time not being on their side, running down the full shot clock, not even getting a shot attempt off. That's big.
Exactly. Now I feel like, Chapman has that comfortable lead that they were looking for, and that's where I feel like they're really able to thrive, is once they get that comfortable lead, they're able to, a lot of teams I feel like slow down the pace at that point, but Chapman just continues to bring the fire, and that's what I feel like we're seeing in this game, and GCU is having a hard time keeping up with it.
Oh, momentum on the Panthers side. Goes to DeColibus, 6 on the day, Morissette. More than several assists so far, too, today. He has a goal as well. Here's another pass inside. Kevin, he has 1 goal today. Morissette up top. Shot on goal. Another save. Jake Hives so far, he's had a lot of great saves. He's really taken actually just some impressive passes from the Panthers to get goals. Besides that, most shots on goal have been stopped by Hives.
Exactly. Yeah, Hives, even though Chapman has had 8 points, Hives has still been great at, blocking some of those shot attempts.
Ground ball. Call on the field is against GCU, so the Panthers get possession. Walker Holden looking to get a quick score, moves it over. Reginelli Slows it down at the top, allows a couple sub-ins to come in, including Morset, who now has it at the top. Morset subs in. Also subbing in Elijah Brugman, who's moving over on the right side. Morset with the pass. Another pass to Kolobis. He was looking for 7. Couldn't get it there. A push out of bounds. And it allows the Panthers to have possession. A smart play by Dante.
Dante knows what he's doing. Yeah, not just in the goal, but also he knows the rules of the game where he can, use that force and that aggression to his advantage.
Moving over. Reginelli. Dante. Morset. Again, Panthers slowing it down. Goes to Holden. Moving over. Reginelli, shot on goal, a little high for Brugman.
I'm really happy to see that, the Panthers are reutilizing the strategy of working deep, right around the goal and using up as much of the time as they really need. And it's definitely been working well for them. You see, oh my gosh.
Morset to Dante almost happened again. That was about to be number 7. And number 6 total for that dynamic duo between each other. Instead, GCU has possession, and they're looking for a big score.
GCU, I feel like, really needs to up their offensive fire here and, really bring a lot more aggression, a lot more power into this game in order to make a name for themselves and, try even just stand a chance at beating Chapman at this point.
Again, GCU cannot run down that shot clock too much. It's already at 40 now. They haven't even got a shot attempt off. And with the shot clock continuing to run down, the hourglass ticking away. That shot off to the left. Closest to it is GCU. So Liam Reed will reset it behind the X.
For GCU, it seems that when they run downfield and, really just try to quickly get an attempt, I feel like that's what's been working well for them. That's when they're able to, get a shot and not when they try to take the same tactic as Chapman and, really soak up the clock.
Liam Reed with the pass inside. GCU, a bouncer trying to get it inside, cannot. Another great save for the Chapman Panthers. And again, that's what you expect with Jason Bollinger, one of the top all-conference players for the Chapman Panthers. That one's going to go through Nico's legs, and it's going to change possession to GCU.
Yeah, Bollinger did his job there. He was able to create a great save, and that worked very well for the Panthers. But unfortunately, now it is back in the hands of GCU here.
Colton Muniz really pushing the edge of that 50-yard mark, and Morset was close to picking that off from behind. But GCU has it now with Grant Warren. Hasn't had many shot attempts in this game. Grant Warren, 16 points on the year. None today. Warren taking a shot. Bollinger with the save. And it's going to go over to the Panthers on the other side. Moving to Leanders Riker. Pass, bouncer. And it's going to get into possession of DeColabis. Wild pass. Picked up by GCU.
Those were some tall and just, ferocious passes there. Those were very interesting. Yeah, ball was just very high in the air, flying around, but now it is back in the possession of GCU.
Letting it move around. And there's a big-time timeout for GCU. One that they probably needed at this moment. 4:55 on the clock. It's 8-2. And the 2 possessions that they've had recently almost taking up the full 80 seconds of the shot clock.
With no score or even, no shot attempts. Yeah, that's crazy. And see, I feel like right now that, both of these huddles that we're looking at for GCU really need to just lock in and understand what they need to do and where their strategies really need to lie for the rest of this game in order to kind of piece themselves back together and stand a chance at, beating Chapman.
Again, GCU now with time not on their side, they really need to start figuring out how to get quick offensive possessions going. They cannot take down that full shot clock again.
Offensively, I feel like they need to establish a firmer framework, where they're around the goal. They need to be able to understand where each other, where they can find each other and how they can pass better and more effectively in order to get that in the goal. Because I feel like, them utilizing the X and everything, great strategy, of course, but, it hasn't been exactly panning out the way they want. And so I feel like they, honestly, for their team, they should just run it down and, try to use more aggression, more speed, and more force in order to do this, and not really take a book from Chapman's playbook, because when they've done that, it doesn't work best for them.
Yeah, it's very two different situations right now. Chapman, when they take down the 40 seconds, it's because they have an 8-2 lead. Grand Canyon, on the other hand, they can't do that.
Nope.
They have to save time. It's trading points for time in that sense. So GCU also taking more risks with the passes inside. They choose not to pass it inside because it's so tight on the defensive end. In the end, you also have to take risks if you're GCU at this moment.
Exactly. GCU needs to step up and find their connections and be able to work their way in this game.
And not a good possession out of the timeout. GCU lost possession. And Bollinger sets it up. Gets it to Camden Morris, and the Panthers get it over. Now setting up with their offensive lineup. And here's what the Panthers strive. Taking up time, full 80 seconds on their side.
That's the way the Panthers do it in this game.
As you can have a couple sub-ins now. You have Jack Worth, who subs in. Josh Vaughn, who's in. Here it goes to Kevin, one of the top scorers for the Panthers. More set. You see DeColbus lining up on that left side. 6 on the day for Dante. He likes to do that little sneaky move inside. Dante with it. Working off of the left side of the goal. More set. Over to the right, Jack Worth. More set. He seems to be the facilitator for the Panthers. This time, though, it's an interception off of the pass on the stick. Phoenix Rhodes taking it. Snatching it straight out of the air. And it goes to Grant Warren. Pass inside is wild, picked up. Very aggressive move by Bollinger, moving way out of the goal with the ball.
Those interceptions and quick changes of possession have been, I feel like, a great thing for GCU so far in this game. Even if they're not able to convert and, utilize their shot attempts and everything, they still have been able to, get that control through those tactics and through recovering the ball in tricky situations.
It causes second guessing for the Panthers offense. Now with his Holden Walker, he has 10 goals on the year. Pass it over to Morset. Morset with several assists, as mentioned before, in this game. Movement inside, shot inside, and the Panthers 9 on the board.
That is incredible. There we go. Panthers just demonstrating how just dynamic of a team they are once again. Panthers are just killing it in this game so far. Had that slow burn at the beginning, but here we go now. Goal after goal, just proving their name for themselves.
The slow burn coming into fruition. Josh Vaughn. That's his 14th goal of the year.
And Josh Vaughn, a junior from Alamo, California, just a little bit away from me in Walnut Creek. He went to Monte Vista High School, a great lacrosse program there.
Yeah, the junior midfielder for the Chapman Panthers. Applied human physiology major. Very impressive student athlete. Nico Orsino with it. And Nico will pass it away, move back to the defensive side in his midfield position. It's been a lot of offensive possessions. Here it is. Oh, another shot attempt for DeColibus. A race to the ball. And it is won. What an aggressive move that was by Jake Hives. And his aggressive move pays off as it gives GCU possession. You want to speak on other ends for GCU. They did have a nice run into the March Madness, almost beating Alabama in the round of 32. They had a big run in March Madness. School looking to pick up momentum and really pick it up with the sports teams after that big win and big upset that they had in March Madness. The lacrosse team is struggling a little bit, though. It goes to Seymour. Seymour moving around. Seymour double teamed. Another stop by Camden. Pick up. And Cam with another one. Cam with the toss all the way across the field, right on the dot. And it's lost around and picked up. Seymour now Passing it over, GCU needing a quick score. They need it now.
This is this fast, just sheer speed that I feel like GCU needs to incorporate in this game, and I'm seeing it from right now.
Graham Warren working from behind the X. And already down to 50 seconds left in the shot clock. Warren passing up over the top. Vaughn quick, back to Warren. Warren trying to put a move on, cannot. Great defense and movement. Warren with a good pass and a shot inside, and GCU gets 3 on the board for them. Good pass from Warren and a good finish on the inside from Seymour.
There we go. Great way to be closing out this third quarter for GCU. Yeah, we see in this replay right here how I feel like, GCU has really been able to incorporate this speed and just force that they need to have in order to put more points up on the board and stand a chance against Chapman. They are, I feel like, they reevaluated their strategy and they're figuring out what works for them, not for Chapman, and they're doing it, and it's beginning to work.
So it's 9-3 now. Seymour with his 11th goal of the year. Rolling around. Another holy roller. Picked up by the Panthers and Troy Kennedy. And he slows it down, gets it to Cam. Cam with a good pass over the end. And it allows the Panthers now to set up on offense. Again, doing what they do best. Chipping away that clock. As it goes to Kevin and then Dante. Moving over to Morissette.
Panthers are great at passing, I feel like, from distance. They're really good at making those connections and finding their teammates from afar, while GCU, that isn't necessarily their strong suit.
Morissette with a shot attempt a little high. Goes to Dante. Dante facing a double team now. You can tell GCU does not want Dante scoring again, but he draws a flag. And the flag will allow the Panthers to hold possession. It was a knock in the head. That is not allowed. As the refs go to discuss it.
Yeah, GCU is beginning to grow a lot more aggressive, it seems, and really trying to, find ways like, Dante, as we saw earlier in the game, was able to get, become more aggressive and, make different moves, but that was legal and that worked well for him. But it seems that GCU is struggling to find a way to, be aggressive, make those moves while it being still legal.
Yeah, as it was a foul there, it looked like it was Matthew Miller who committed the foul on the Chapman Panthers. So therefore, it leaves Chapman right now in a great situation after the foul. They still maintain possession. And that also is the end in the quarter break, so you have both teams who go and huddle up on each side. So the refs have a word a little bit with each side and try to discuss how they're going to enforce that penalty, especially with the quarter end, because every quarter starts with a face-off. So how they try to associate that into the next quarter is going to be very interesting to see. But you know what? For this quarter break, we want to have a little bit of fun. Right now, I mentioned there's going to be a little bit of some questions that come into factor for the third quarter break, and here it is. We are going to have at some point coming up soon is a little bit of kind of matchup comparisons and how players look alike, to other celebrities. Do you have a celebrity look-alike yourself? Have you ever gotten one?
Oh, let me see. A real celebrity look-alike? Oh my gosh, I don't know. Honestly, I have never gotten one. How about you, Alejandro?
Well, I have gotten a Keanu Reeves back when I had my long hair era, but let's see what the players have now as we go over to the Chapman players on their comparisons, per se. Who do they look like? So we have the Chapman Panthers side. First one, Rocco Reginelli. Looks like Tony Reidinger right there from The Incredibles. You don't really hear about Tony a lot, but that's a great comparison in my opinion. Next one, moving over, you have Jackson Stephen looking like Miles Mikolas from the Cardinals. He's a pitcher for the St. Louis Cardinals. I think that's a pretty good one with the mustache. Next one coming over, Dante DeColbis. Doesn't he just give you golden retriever energy over here? Mr. 6 goals on the day. As we move over to the next one, this one I like the best right here. Ben Neustron, I really do think he gives me Kristoff vibes from Frozen. It's a great comparison. Now the last one, Leander Reichers, reminds me of Thor, son of Odin, right there at the end. And now we have a couple of GCU players as well who have their comparisons.
Exactly. And so Jake Hikes, our amazing goalie, looks like Ed Sheeran. I think it's just, that strong ginger energy. There we go. That's what makes them look alike. And next up, we have Matt Hardig. Looks like Bo Burnham, this incredible comedian. Look, they're twins practically. Same jawline, same glasses, everything. And next up, Ethan Sweat. Looks like Finn Wolfhard. There we go. That shaggy brown hair, that young look. And Jaden Lawson is practically Frodo Baggins with the, bright blue eyes and floppy brown hair. There we go. And here's our last one with Ryder Jacobson looking like Nicolas Cage. Look, those eyes, perfect. And here we are back in the game at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
I love it. I have to say, I like the Nick Cage comparison. And that's a great guy to be compared to. Also for the Frodo Baggins, who knows, maybe the freshman is the destined one for GCU in the coming years, just like Frodo was. Exactly. As GCU has possession now. Again, down 9-3. This is getting a miracle territory for GCU. At this point in the game, they need to start getting quick possessions to try to get back into it. That one, though, a little mishap, and we've seen that a lot for GCU. But a sub-in, what a great sub-in it is, and a great pickup. Smart decision by the coach to let Caleb Brogger come in, pick up the loose ball. And it goes to Caden Hugginson. Right here, GCU already running down the shot clock to 30 seconds. Caden with the ball. 20 seconds left. Caden moving around. Tough, piercing defense from the Panthers. And that's another stop for Chapman. Moving quick in transition. Nico Ursino loses it. Picks it back up. Now is GCU. Seymour, we've heard his name now a lot in this second half. Oh, it looked like for a split second, Warren could have had a shot lane. Doesn't take it. Resets behind the X. But this is not what GCU needs right now. This shot clock running down. Warren. Looking around, but cannot just get around Steven Jackson. But that shot gets around, and that shot goes in for GCU. And hold on a second, Graham Warren with a goal. It's 9-4.
There we go. I think GCU took, it's interesting to see, I feel like, in this game, GCU's been taking pages from Chapman's books in different ways. And, some plays work and some don't. And this one did. I feel like they really took a look at how Chapman often makes trick shots and, sneaky little posts around the goal post. And I feel like for right now, that really worked for GCU.
Yeah, so right now, GCU down 5. And this is it. It's getting to desperate territory for GCU. As we mentioned before, though, Grant Warren now with an assist, with a goal. And GCU now winning possession back. This is how momentum gets going in lacrosse. All of a sudden, before you know it, this game can be close to tied. Another score here brings it within 4. It's Kai Cook with possession. Kai Cook with 1 goal in the year. Could be looking for number 2. Great defense, though, from the Panthers. Great pressure on Kai. Kai passing around. Steven Jackson standing in front. He's been defending the backside of the X very well today.
Seems like GCU is able to integrate a little bit of both right now. They're able to, kind of utilize the clock to their own good and, find that foundation of their teammates, but also still have that aggression and that force. They're able to have a good mix right now, and I think it's working well for them.
Colton Muniz with the shot clock down to 15. Colton, pass is wild. It's going past the 50-yard mark. It's going into Panther offensive side now, and they will be able to pick up possession. Kevin takes it. He'll have to move it back a little bit as they reset, allow GCU to get their defenders in. Kevin passes into the sub, Holden Walker. And Walker will be standing up at the top with Reginelli working from the right. And Reginelli, as we mentioned, looking like Tony from The Incredibles. Let's see if he has an incredible move inside him right now.
Oh, I like that. That was good.
It goes to Reginelli. Pass up top. No shots. Oh, and trying to take the shot before grasping possession. And it causes a loss of possession for the Panthers in Neustron. And here comes GCU. The fans are starting to get a little bit loud on the GCU side, really trying to see if this team can come alive. Graham Warren, pass inside, ground ball. As both sides go down, and Jason was the closest to it, putting in a great effort. And it allows the Panthers to retake possession now with 10 minutes coming up in the game.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible. Yeah, we're seeing lots of energy coming from the fans on both sides right now. Yeah, everybody's getting fired up and excited to see where this game will take us.
Camden, he's had 2 shot attempts in this game, and he's going for a third, cannot. Camden fighting inside a double team right now, can't get out.
So many ground balls in this game, it's crazy.
Yeah, Camden too, 3 shot attempts in this game. He was looking for his first of the season. Looks like a penalty on the Panthers. And it's resetting for GCU. Still down 5. It's been a bit of a shutout for both sides to start this quarter, as Liam Reed was the one who was able to bring it down for GCU. Hawkinson with it.
Yeah, and with 10 minutes left in this game, you know, they're still, yeah, they're down. GCU's down 5 Chapman, but, you know, yeah, nothing's set in stone yet. We can see what will happen in these next 10 minutes is going to be very interesting.
Hawkinson looking to take a shot, decides not to. Pass up top. Shot on goal, saved by Bollinger. And he'll hold back and reset for the Panthers. And here goes quick. Beasley moving down. Beasley gets it across. And Beasley will pass it off before he subs out. Now letting the offensive lineup come in for the Panthers. It goes to Worth. And it actually goes back into the hands of Morset. Now into the stick of Vomand. Voman. Morset. Morset up top. Voman. Voman trying to use his strength. Inside to Worth. Back inside. Twist around shot. Can't go in for Brugman. And there's 30 on the clock.
Yeah, I wonder. I feel like, yeah, there's been lots of substitutions lately, and I don't know. I wonder if any of those substitutions will make an effect on, you know, either team. If GCU will be able to be stronger or weaker, or same with Chapman. I don't know. It's interesting.
Morset with another goal, and there it is. And already quick to celebrate with Dante Nicolovas. They've been doing that a lot today. Morset, his second goal of the game. Already over 4 assists on the day as well. Have a day.
Dante and Luke, that's our duo of the game. Let's see it. Yeah, we can see in this clip here how, yeah, Dante and Luke, they just are able to find each other and, you know, make those connections to one another and put those in the end zone. Look at that. Look at that love right there. The teammates are just, yeah, oh my gosh. They just have a great connection, and they're able to translate that onto the field.
They call him hand cannon, and Morset proves it there.
And now, yeah, being up, yeah, at a 10 points up on the scoreboard is really what's going to be good for Chapman in this game. You know, now, yeah, they really have a good, comfortable lead, and it's going to be a struggle for GCU in the rest of this game.
It's another high-scoring game for the Panthers, just what they needed. You know, they come off an Arizona State game where they didn't score as much as they would have liked. It's an 8-7 game. This time now finally breaking through and getting into those double digits again. Here it is, DeColibus. 6 on the day, might be looking for 7. Who knows? Morset, he's looking for 3, decides to pass it off instead. Pass inside, Kevin looking for number 2, he can't get it. And a mishap, pick up for the Panthers. DeColibus has a lane, decides to hold back. He'll choose to run the shot clock down. Morset. Up over the top. Here's Morset. Moving around. Inside to Walker. Walker with some movement. Hits it over to the right. Reginelli. Morset. Gets number 3. 11 on the day for Luke Morset. Or that was a pass off to Grant Kevin.
This dynamic duo, once again, here we are. Dante and Luke, oh my gosh, look at them go. There we are. Look, Panthers are just unstoppable right now. Oh my gosh, Grant Kevin was the one that made that shot, actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, Grant, he, as one of our key players, he is demonstrating himself as well in this game. We see that these guys continuously just playing their best ball, and they're doing great at it.
Grant Kevin on a streak right now. 4 yesterday, 2 today. As he's having himself quite the season. Now over 20 goals on the year. It goes to Nico Orsino. And he decides to hold back. And they get over to Jack Worth. Worth moving inside. Decides to pass it over to the outside. Goes back to Worth. Way over Morissette. Worth to the other side. Morissette can't really seem to find the lane, and the Panthers still, though, running the shot clock down. It's getting to below 30. Tacobas working from the top spot, not something you see often. Morissette working over to the left, can't find a lane. Morissette taking a bounce shot, could not get it. And that's a wild pass. Who's going to get it? Another great pickup by Cam. Cam with 3 shot attempts on the day. Could he try to get one again?
Cam has just been incredible and unstoppable on defense today. Look at him go, using his force to just, constantly make those blocks, and just, he's able to save the ball any chance.
Morissette passes it behind to Kevin. Kevin with 2 on the day. Morissette with 2 on the day, and he'll hit that one over the top. So a couple stops here for Grand Canyon. But right now, it's 11-4, and the Panthers winning the big-time possession in the 4th quarter. At this point now, it'd have to be almost a score every 30 seconds for Grand Canyon if you want to do the math on that one.
That's crazy.
For them to come back into this game. There's a pass around. Hawkinson. We're seeing great defense from Steven Jackson working from behind the X. Doesn't let anyone get around him. Hawkinson is no exception. Cam fighting again, and that was a great hit by Cam to get the ground ball rolling around and out of the way. Allowed the pickup for Rikers Leander. So after the pickup from Leander, the Panthers reset on the offensive side. And it goes to Morissette. The offensive facilitator for the Chapman Panthers. Walker, watch out for a GCU guy coming right behind the sub in there. Try to see if he could sneak behind.
Yeah, I feel like on Chapman's defense, Leander has really just been a team player in this game. And, he hasn't been really given the opportunity to have any great plays himself, but he's just been a team player and been helping everybody out. And he's been great.
That's big for defensive players. Very selfless.
Mm-hmm.
Inside, Tacobas, 6 on the day, as mentioned before. Also an assist. Morissette, a nutmeg right in between, and that's another one for Luke. That's 3 on the day for Luke Morissette. It is 12-4.
This dynamic duo, Dante and Luke, unstoppable. Oh my gosh, here he goes. Look, he just comes creeping around the goal, and then just makes it. I feel like that's where Chapman really succeeds the best, is when they, come running around from behind the X, and then they just creep by and just get it over the shoulder of the Antelope goalie.
The dynamic duo of Dante and Luke evaporating the rain right now. Pick up, ground ball will go to, as it still keeps going around now. Cam, another pickup off of the ground ball. He's had several today. Gets it over to the offensive side, and with 3:25 left, and a 12-4 lead. At this point, you have to think that the Panthers are just going to try to run this clock out.
Exactly, yeah, and that's what they've been doing, when they're given the offensive advantage in many situations. And I feel like we're definitely going to be seeing that from them right now, not really putting too much salt in the wound of, yeah, I don't know, the deficit of Grand Canyon right now. And yeah, I think they'll take things a bit easier, you know, just keep it simple.
As Neustron's pass is a little out of control, trying to get that over to DeColobus. Cannot. And Grand Canyon working with someone with no goalie right now.
That's interesting.
And he'll reset back to the goal. Grand Canyon just for the moment. Moving and trying to get an extra passer out on the field. Moving inside for GCU. Seymour. Seymour decides to keep it, a fake pass attempt. Seymour gets shoved around. The strength of this Panthers defense. Cam again. And this one draws a flag. I'm going to say a hit on the face mask, it looks like.
Yeah, it seems that, you know, in the last few moments of any game like this, it's going to be getting a little bit aggressive, you know. It's, yeah, they're really going to be having to use their brunt force in order to get any points on the board at this point.
So it looks like it's going to be Cam who's going to have to sit in the box.
Oh.
Panthers are going to be down a man.
Rancho Santa Fe, there we go.
This is exactly what GCU wanted, as you can see right here. Cam with a great hit initially. It's that stick move right there that hit the face mask. That drew him the penalty. GCU now working with a man over in a bit of their own power play. But can they take advantage of it? It's 12-4 right now. Shot inside is high, out of control. But closest to it is Quick. And with a minute 56 left, GCU a reset on the shot clock at 80. GCU with Grant Warren. Pass over to Liam. Ooh, that was almost intercepted by Nico Orsino, who subbed in. Goes to Grant Warren. And Nico Orsino using his DB skills that he has from football. Closing out.
It's great to see, yeah, multi-sport athletes just being able to, cross over and use their skills from other sports into, the intersecting ones.
I asked Nico what was his favorite sport. He said, well, whichever one I'm playing in the season.
I
So
love
right
that.
now, his favorite sport's lacrosse. When it's football season, though, it'll be football.
He's a committed athlete. There we go. He can't pick favorites.
Nico, great defense. Inside for GCU, another high shot. It's 29 seconds left on the shot clock. And now we get to under 55 seconds in this game. Another shot attempt, wild, closest to it.
Yeah, it seems that
Oh,
GCU's
it's a
shot
close
attempts
call.
have been pretty loose here. And yeah, it's challenging definitely to see your team, in the last few moments of a game kind of, I don't know, getting loose. And I don't know if it's the slipperiness from the rain or anything, but yeah, it's just been challenging for them, but especially in these last few moments here.
So with GCU having 20 seconds left on the shot clock, another save for Bollinger. That caps off a great day for him. 33 seconds left on the clock. Troy Kennedy might try to get a shot off for himself, and that one's going to bounce out. GCU will hold possession. Troy Kennedy, the defender, trying to see if he could get one himself this year.
Exactly. I don't know. It's interesting to see, these last-ditch attempts and, the last few moments of the game for these players who haven't as much, had their name in the spotlight or been able to get these goals for themselves. And, it's interesting to see what they can do in these last few moments.
There's no running out the clock in lacrosse. No sportsmanship allowed. Moving inside. GCU with 7 seconds left now looking to just get a consideration goal. It's going to get stopped by Troy Kennedy. 3 seconds left, and that is it. The Panthers win 2 in a row. First game against Arizona State on Friday, getting a big win today against Grand Canyon at 12-4. What an eruption it was from really worth mentioning. Dante DeColobus, Luke Morissette, and then also Grant Cavan on the offensive side for the Chapman Panthers. An eruption, and it led to their big victory.
Exactly. Yeah, they've just been a dynamic duo. Dante DeColobus and, Luke Morissette. The two of them have just been incredible in their offensive abilities in this whole game. And, we can't neglect on defense Cam Morris. Just been shining as a shining star in this entire game. He's been able to use his force and aggression in order to stop all attempts into their goal. And, yeah, it's just been an incredible game all around for the Panthers.
Yeah, the scoring will be a big storyline for the Chapman Panthers, of course, with the 12 goals scored. scored. But a big credit to the Panthers defense, who shut down Grand Canyon, who took an early 2-1 lead. It looked like for a split second Grand Canyon had momentum, had the energy, but the defense kept them solidified. And that was a big help thanks to Cam Morris on the defensive end. Also on the offensive end, we always have to talk about Dante DeColbus. 6 goals on the day. And you'll be seeing him a lot in the halftime highlight, or in the end of the game highlights that we have here. What a game it was for Dante, Morissette, just overall the offense flowing, as you can see right here in the full game highlights. Again, as we mentioned, GCU, they were off to a quick start. They really were winning possessions, great stops, but then all of a sudden the eruption for the Panthers offense was able to just kind of get through. Again, it was a great stop by GCU. It was 2-3 for the majority of the second quarter, but it took a big breakthrough. Morissette finally getting one to drop right underneath. As you can see, he gives his little celebration to his teammates right there. Him and Dante always doing their little jump up to each other every single time. Another one, this was great save. In the end, it was a great job by GCU early in the game on the defensive side.
Exactly, and I feel like it's very interesting, you know, because Chapman has typically been a first quarter team for the other men's lacrosse. They've always been able to put those points up very strong on the board, but it's been incredible to see this come back in this game. Yeah, now ending it with this incredible final score. You know, it's just been great to see how they came off from that, scary 2-1 moment where GCU was leading for a moment and just surged through. And whatever they talked about during halftime, I don't know, but it worked. They were doing incredible, and they ended it with them on top.
What a great job by the Chapman Panthers. What a fantastic game it was. Again, the number 4 ranked in the nation, Chapman Panthers, big win over GCU. And this was a big prove-it game against a team that just lost to San Diego State, and that's going to be the big rival for the Chapman Panthers. Now we have Lisa Pressler down the sidelines with our game MVP.
Hi guys, I'm here with Dante DeColbus, our MVP. Dante, so I know the team has been traveling a lot recently, and you guys just won yesterday against Arizona State. So what was your mentality coming into today's game?
Well, we had a tough battle against ASU, so we were focusing on recovery. We had a team meeting, went over some things, but then they come out and they came in a zone defense. So the first quarter, it was a little tricky because we weren't used to that, but then we adapted and we switched some things up, so it went well after that.
Nice. And then what would you say are the key factors that led to your success today?
I'd say ball movement from the whole team. Everybody got involved, moved the ball fast and efficient, and that led to some open opportunities. So my part was the easy part, if anything.
Okay, cool. And I know you're usually number 4. So number 44, what's the story behind that?
Okay, so in the second game of the year, we were playing Cal Poly, and I got hit and I got knocked unconscious. Yeah, so I was out for 2 weeks. But when Joseph, the trainer, came onto the field, he didn't know what was up with me, so he cut my jersey open. And then, so yeah, that's why I switched to 44.
Okay, yeah, that's a crazy story, and thanks for sharing. Awesome win. Thank you for talking to me once again.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm Lisa Pressler from CSBN, signing off.
Thank you so much, Lisa. That's actually the second time Lisa's interviewed Dante. That's also the second time Dante's been the MVP. He was the MVP against the game in Florida where he had 4 goals in that game. And that was actually coming off of the injury that he just mentioned where he got knocked unconscious. What a great job it was by Dante. 6 goals on the day, not 4 this time, 6 for Dante. Also with an assist as well. As you see, he got the first one to open up for the Chapman Panthers.
Exactly. Look at how incredible his gameplay is. Our golden retriever of the day, his celebrity look-alike. He is just an incredible player. And yeah, he's been able to put up point after point. And look at that. He just creeps right around the post of the goal and is able to sneak around to get that goal right in there. That's what's been his specialty, is these trick shots in this game. And there it is again. You know, even when he has defenders coming onto him in his face, he's been able to knock them down and secure the point.
Yeah, Luke Morissette was the great passer to Dante several of the times. Dante, again, as you mentioned, the golden retriever of the team, really bringing that sunshine on a rainy day for the Chapman Panthers today. Dante did a fantastic job in today's game. 6 goals, we have to mention again. Also with an assist that happened to Grant Cavan, where the Panthers had a lot of points. That was 7 points that were thanks a lot to Dante DeColbus. So again, we have to give a lot of credit to Dante on what a day he has had again. And we also worth mentioning again, this is the Chapman Panthers organization that is self-funded. It's a club team. So please, again, Any donations do count. There's a QR code down below. So please, any donations. This is a Chapman Panthers team that's looking to go to the championships, right? They're trying to make a playoff run. So it's going to be a lot of traveling, a lot of food expenses, stuff that they pay for out of their own pocket. So it's going to be very big for this Chapman Panthers team to, have any donations, any funding that helps this team in any way. It's so big. Now, what a great day it was for the Chapman Panthers. Again, you got to look ahead. Chapman's got a great matchup coming up. The big game that they're going to look at is San Diego State. So what are you looking at for that game?
Exactly, yeah. So I feel like, San Diego State is where the Panthers are really going to have to prove themselves and really be able to have to, show that they are an amazing contender in their conference. That's what's going to be their power, is be able to, really prove themselves. And, in all of our games, this is all student produced. It's run by the Chapman Sports Broadcast Network, which, we are a part of. We love to commentate, me and Alejandro. And so, it's completely run by students. All of our student broadcasts for games like the one you're watching, all of the camera people, everyone in the control room, everything is run by students.
Yeah, so this is going to be the end of us here in the booth. But when you get to the credits, you'll see a video of the behind the scenes of what makes this student organization so fun to work with, the great people who are behind the scenes all the time, as well as the people in front of the camera. Every single production, student ran, student organization. They put so much time and effort into this, even the Tier 3 and 4 games throughout the entire year. So we want to thank you guys from here in the booth. I've been Alejandro Flores and Lindsey Johnson, and we'll leave you guys with the behind the scenes footage.